Welcome, ladies and gents. Here we are for a quick chat on John and I's one of our favorite actresses, that is Miss Ashley Judd. Welcome to the show.
Always glad to be here.
So, here is an actress who has just been activist, been even considered trying politics in like Arizona, I believe, at one point. And just interesting figure. Yeah. So what was your introduction to Miss Judd?
It was actually the film that will later make her known, which was Kiss the Girl at the time.
There you go. So you started into the loop. And by, the 90s, she was pretty much that kind of powerhouse where she was in some kind of mystery adventure movie playing either a victim or a tough gal. It was an interesting thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to mix them up too, because much like all the other movie stars that were out there, run away from explosions, she's running away from killers.
That's true. That's what made her movies interesting, particularly Kiss the Girl, like I said. And she had like a very easy presence to her that I
very
think a lot of audiences liked at the time.
Absolutely. And she pretty much just hit the ground running. I mean, I know here in parts of Arlington and Dallas, her mother, Naomi, still performs country music. So I would occasionally see an advertisement for them playing in town. So it's like, okay, interesting. But yeah, it's just, she had like 3 sisters, I believe, and just grew up in Grenada Hills, California. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I will start off. Yeah, she's got a bunch of Emmy nominations, especially for playing Norma Jean in a movie. I think that had Mira Sorvino. And a bunch of other movies, including a Fright Meter Award for the William Friedkin's film Bug. Golden Globe for Did Lovelace. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in all kinds of movies, and I just always just find her just approach to the craft very interesting because she can either go for standoffish or victim or even just heroic, and you just never know what to expect from her. She's just very good at just being unpredictable. So first credit was briefly on Star Trek Next Gen. That was interesting, playing love interest of Wesley Crusher, and then
which I just found out today.
You didn't recognize it. Yeah.
No, I didn't know she was on.
It's very wild. It was fun seeing her in that unusual dress. So yeah, she was in the movie Cuffs with Christian Slater, just a brief bit part in a Treat Williams TV movie. And I was fortunate enough this year to finally see Rudy in Paradise. I've been a fan of Victor Nunez, who had done plenty of other films like Yuli's Gold and Coastlines. And this was shown on Turner Classic Movies on their Friday, night movies. And this was interesting just because it's kind of I think from this point on, this just determines the rest of Judd's career with her whole independent, staying focused. And here she is playing she's not an ex-con, but basically she's having to deal with a bunch of ex-cons and drug dealings and just other kind of middle class and blue collar people. And it's a good, you can find it on Showtime right now, as a matter of fact. And it's just very cool how they just show how someone has to evolve, just be their own person. She keeps having all these other bad influences, but she's not affected by it. She just basically has to decide how long she will use what she has until she can't put up with it anymore. Just good drama, mild crime elements to it. And this film just does a good job of just making just such everyday stuff look interesting without feeling like just random excuse to take up time. Totally recommend it.
Overly cliche, like someone's trying to be.
It's not an easy thing to do, and just the movie is well lit without looking like simple eye candy, and also just does a good job of just showing how in this particular town there's a lot of crappy jobs and everything, and she's having to just say, hey, I'm not going to be a stripper, I'm not going to be a drug dealer, I'm not going to be working this 9-to-5 job for this long. So, and then after that, she has a recurring role for 3 seasons on this soap opera drama called Sisters. I've always heard of it. I knew it was one of Celia Ward's first roles, but I never saw it. But I think this first season's on DVD. And then she was in deleted scenes for Natural Born Killers, and I haven't seen that deleted scene. I've seen the other one.
Yeah, the other thing I found out today was her having a deleted scene in that one. I'm like, interesting.
Who did she play?
Yeah.
Let me look it up real fast. Ashley Judd, Natural Born Killers. Sorry, folks. We were going to talk about the stuff we did know. So. Okay. So she played a courtroom witness. Got it. Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, well. Better or worse. There's a lot of scenes that, interesting as they are, might not have added anything to the movie. So. Anyway, yeah, she just continues that, just steady working. And then she, again, just plenty of other just TV and movie roles. Seen Smoke, that's a very brief role, pretty good drama from Wayne Wang of the Joy Luck Club that has William Hurt, Harvey Keitel, and just Harold Perrineau, just an all-star giant cast. And she's just really brief, like one scene, but every actor does really good in this. Same year, she's in Passion at Darkly Noon, which is just a very weird fantasy film by Philip Ridley, starring Viggo Mortensen as a mutant man and Brendan Fraser as a man kind of losing his mind. She's kind of the femme fatale, but it's interesting. And same year as Heat. And what can I say? Just did good as Val Kilmer's girlfriend, who's just like, yeah, I'm going to leave you.
She plays it off well.
Yep. And then follows it up with Normal Life, which I've seen years ago. And it was just kind of another just kind of road movie, psychotic breakdown kind of film. Not an easy role to play, but worth checking out. And then again, I have not seen Norma Jean of Maryland, but I have seen A Time to Kill from that same year, and I think I'll let you lead into that on why that's a cool courtroom thriller.
It's one that brought up interesting topics, especially during that time, about race and particularly the KKK at that time. And it's, like I said, a very interesting drama / thriller. It has a hell of a cast, I'd say. And
Dynamite.
She plays off her role real well as Matthew McConaughey's wife.
Yep.
Even if it's a small role, she still manages to make it her own.
LA. So then again, bit parts, and then playing either the mom or the heroic gal on the run, like Kiss the Girls, Simon Birch, and Double Jeopardy. And Eye of the Beholder was interesting because that was another serial killer thriller, but at that time she was the serial killer. And it's a tough movie to describe. I feel like it's more of a giallo, unofficial one.
It's one I've always heard about, but never actually got to see.
I had seen it once, didn't like it, saw it again, thought it was better. Should see this third time just to make sense of it. But it was interestingly crafted, European feeling. And then, yes, she plays Natalie Portman's mom in Where the Heart Is, and then...
Which is one of my mom's favorite movies.
Oh, well, there you go. And next year...
I don't mind that movie, but,
It's pretty watchable. It's pretty solid. Someone Like You. It's good for a chick flick. Not really my cup of tea, but good for what it is. And then, once again, back to Mysteryville with her Kiss the Girls co-star Morgan Freeman with High Crimes. gotta say, it's a pretty interestingly crafted movie, even though it's really not all that hard to figure out, the reasonable doubt. Right. Gotta love courtroom thrillers. So, found her niche. And then after that, she's in Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. I remember my mother actually saw that and thought it was an interestingly acted film. It's unusual. And then brief part in Frida, and then back to serial killers again with Twisted, and then same year as D. Lovely.
Not really a big fan of that one, but
yeah, Twisted is bad shit crazy. But
yeah,
what she does so well, and I think all these roles is just, I think all the parts are just so energetic and just very susceptible to playing an uncanny part in each one. So I've heard from some people that she can be difficult to work with, and I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I guess she just wants to get it right. So if I saw The Lovely, I don't remember it. It was a whatever kind of period piece. Not a musical, was it? Yeah, kind of a musical. It's a musical. Had good chemistry with Kevin Kline, but I would have to force myself to watch this, so I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, then she's in Come Early Morning with ya boy, Jeffrey Donovan. That was an interesting, once again, kind of like Rudy in Paradise, just woman getting herself back together, putting the past behind, accepting life, coming of age, and it's like that's cool. And same year as Bug. Now, did you ever see that one with William Friedkin? It was kind of his return to Exorcist type mystery horror.
Yeah, that was an interesting one because that's one that,
again, not trying to be freaky, but is an intelligent
watches to get into it.
Yeah, I once saw part of it, but I didn't really pay any attention to it. And it's one of those, you're not going to see it on regular TV because everyone, there's blood or naked people in every other scene. So yeah, but it's intelligent. And I can see why it got Michael Shane and a bunch of other roles after this. He's really excellent here. I think Friedkin even said this was one of his favorite kinds of actors to work with. And I'm sure they all got along well because essentially, they're all on each other's levels. They want to get it right. They want to press on forward. So after that, then just kind of coast through to some other activist stuff, directs a docudrama. Yes, and then does another one. Someone experienced depression called Helen, and I think I did see part of that one. Then has a brief role as Ray Liotta's wife in Crossing Over. So there you go, just back to the wife role. And I really dug this movie. I still think it's one of Harrison Ford's most underrated roles, just showing just people in LA having to deal with just, again, crossing the border, petty criminals and everything. There's some overacting, unfortunately, question mark, but there's also some good points made, I think, and without being preachy. So then just follows it up with The Tooth Fairy, and well, what can we say about that one?
Yeah, I forgot she was in that, to be fair.
Yeah, I think everyone did, and I think she forgot too. So, yeah,
probably a good thing.
Yeah, stupid kids movies. Everyone has one. Then she's in this heist comedy, Flypaper, and I have to say, this is a weird ass movie.
I mean, it sounds interesting.
It's a weird cast, but every kind of actor's in it. I don't think it's worth the 37 on Metacritic, but it's also not easy to place. But I had some fun with it, even though it was kind of a weird thing. And reunites with Morgan Freeman again on Dolphin Tale 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And all I can say is that movie was watchable. It's not really anything I thought about afterwards. It's definitely not Free Willy. I'd say that.
That's true.
And then, yes, I saw most of Missing, and that was cool to see her kind of do her own Taken kind of thing. Wrapped it all up after 10 episodes. She got some award hype from it and was executive producer. And then gets to be part of the Olympus Has Fallen and Divergent saga. She's the best part about Divergent because she gets to do some gunplay and is one of the few actors who brings any credibility to this stupid Hunger Games knockoff. And
see, I didn't know that. That sounds about the only good thing in those franchise. So
yeah, besides Ray Stevenson in part 2 and Theo James, but yeah, and this is like, no,
yeah,
fuck it. And then Olympus Has Fallen. It was just a cameo, and
yeah,
I haven't seen The Identical. With once again another musical drama, and Big Stone Gap, which is a comedy romance in a small town, Virginia. Looks interesting, but not sure I want to see it. So again, she's part of the ensemble. It's what she does a lot.
But that's what she prefers, to be fair.
I think it is.
Nowadays.
Don't have to carry the movie. Yep. Then she's in this, once again, coming of age drama called Good Kids. It's about 4 high school students who decide to embrace post-graduation, and apparently it's decent. She's in the Barack Obama drama called Barry, and it's pretty boring. I don't recall her being in that one. I forgot she had a brief part in the comeback of Twin Peaks, so another good role. Back to doing kids movies, Dog's Way Home. She does Trafficked, which, again, you can understand why she wanted to do it. It was an attempt at just talking about human trafficking while catering to the Taken crowd, but it just wasn't a very well-made movie, so I can't recommend it. And then again, comeback role on the last 2 seasons of Berlin Station. That's her latest thing, and I can say that is a must-see show, and she added to the powerhouse of actors that were already on it.
Well, I've been curious about that show.
I think you'll dig it. It's a fun, easy spy addiction with Richard Armitage, Keke Palmer, Shel Forbes, and Leland Orser, and they're all just dynamite actors. Just good double crossing of a double crossing. And then some. So now she's starring in something about Anita Bryant. So doing a bunch of other just unusual historical dramas. So it should be interesting. I will definitely keep an eye out.
So will I.
Also, thank you for joining me here, John. This was a quick. Any final thoughts on why she's a resonating actress?
Like I said before, she's one that is almost, you could say, a chameleon. She can play all different kinds of roles, not just like a stereotypical.
Be cute.
That some people would be and try too hard at. And she's always one that, as I've always said, is someone that the audience can care about.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a role that's not typical of hers.
Right.
She still manages to pull it off well. So
she is definitely atypical at playing the typical.
Yeah.
We'll return after these messages.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
We let things pile up in the DVR, we add them to our queues, we wait for the DVDs and Blu-rays. We time shift. The Time Shifters Podcast. Sci-fi, horror, fantasy, superheroes, comedy, action, film, television, maybe some not-so-current events. Find us on iTunes or at timeshifterspodcast.com.
Cool thing about Blind Knowledge is we are in multiple countries. We are worldwide all across the globe. We are in the US, we are in the UK, we are in Canada, Germany, India, Japan. We're in Australia, y'all. BlindKnowledge.com. Now back to the feature presentation.
Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, all things that we love, all manga that were originally published in the legendary magazine Weekly Shonen Jump.
But not every series can run for 300 chapters and have a hit anime. This is David.
This is Jordan.
We're the hosts of Shonen Flop. Each episode we look at manga that ran in Jump that didn't quite make it.
We discuss what it did wrong, what it did right, how the series could have turned itself around, and ultimately, was it a flop or not?
We're on all your favorite podcast apps, and you can find us at shonenflop.com.
Keep on flopping, floppers.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a Jack